Well, good morning. It's David with Interwest IT out here in Southwest Oregon on the coast, and I'm responding to some requests that have been made in the past that I produce a regular um, audio-visual aid rather than plain text and pictures included in blog posts, stuff like that. It would be beneficial for some to actually have a news summary in the IT realm that is oriented toward the needs of small and medium-sized businesses. And so um, it's December 29th, and I'm blessed to have had people ask these things. And so I'm going to respond to that. And you'll be able to, on a weekly basis, perhaps, I think that would be best, kind of do a news and process summary of the things that are important. And so as a year-end summary, the things that we're taking away out of 2015 as we're headed into 2016 mainly relate to web presence, because that's where we practice. And a web presence includes not only an anchor website, but the social media, the constellation of intellectual property that you have in Facebook and tech and Twitter, other places. And integrating those to a consistent brand, a consistent message, calls to action, and leveraging these things in a way that create an opportunity to benefit from them organically, which means free or very low cost to no cost sometimes. And so having the opportunity to help some smaller organizations, particularly nonprofits. I've done some volunteer work there, and so there are some interesting things to share in those spaces um, about how you plan for successors, for instance. But anyway, all of these things are very important, and there's a range of concerns that I don't have time this morning to address. For instance, the emerging role of content producer or of content strategist. We all know that content is king, and I've blogged about that recently. You can go back in the blog on interwestit.com and look for those things. I try not to be cryptic, but I also want to be challenging in the way that I write these things so that people are pushed in different directions for their own um, analysis and for their own really edification in terms of finding out the truth for their own designs. And so I never want to be uh, pragmatic to the extent that we just say some things are important, other things aren't. In each instance, aspects of what's going on online are important to a particular brand or cause or business that may not be important in other cases. And so the case where we're building a web presence for a theater, for instance, is different than if we're concerned with a web presence for a church or a social group or a small business that has, an auto repair kind of a theme. It could be very, very micro, but it could be very powerfully enabled online so that when people need these kinds of services, they're very, very much more easily found. So anyway, that's much longer than I intended to talk this morning, and look forward to more. God bless you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.